Welcome everyone. In this video, we're going to play some more games with the Red Mega Midrange Deck of the Vibes TCG. Now the deck list we're using today is the same as the one that's in the most recent deck guide that I've created for this deck, which I'm going to link down below. I have pretty mixed feelings about this deck because on its surface, I feel like it should be really strong. Like it just is one of these decks where you always, in every game you always feel like there's a way you can win, and when you lose, you're like, "Oh, if I only played this differently, I could have been able to win." Or like you often have that feeling, but then you still end up losing a decent chunk of games. And I think one of the main problems with how you end up losing, besides, not playing the right combination of cards relative to what you had, is you either end up with too many penguins or too many actions. And the way this deck works is you really need penguins in the early game and then actions in the late game. So if you end up with the wrong balance through your deck, I think that can be one of the main causes that has issues with it. So anyway, well, let's see how the games go today. And I still feel like one of the best places for this deck to shine is in a tournament setting. So it's going to be interesting if some people take the kind of red build to Hartford and do really well with it. I think the other advantage of this deck, besides this like that you can win any game type feeling, is that just people have very little experience playing against it. So right now the ladder has almost nobody playing this deck. I think I run into it maybe, one out of every 50 games, or not even that often. So if you become good with this deck, you might be able to have an advantage of just being able to surprise your opponents from the standpoint of A, they won't mulligan for it if they don't know what you're playing, and B, they won't know how to play around it properly. That being said, I think there are some definitely challenges with this deck. Also, another thing is like if your Red Mega Penguin gets removed with removal, it can be very difficult depending on how the game played up until that point. The only nice thing about that is you're still get a 2-for-1 generally because you can use, right, when they target it with a removal, you get to control the second piece of removal that gets copied. So it's still like, well, it's not really 2-for-1, I guess, because you are sacrificing a penguin to play Red Mega Penguin, but right, it's not as bad as it seems on its face. But anyway, okay, let's jump into some games and see how they go. All right, taking a look at this mulligan, right? So we've got the BambooPenguin, which is good, and I think we're going to keep Sunburn as well because it's always good to have early game removal. But the rest of that hand was definitely not cards you want. Okay, so we've got the Popcorn, which Popcorn can be a defensive card as much as an offensive one. All right, so I think we'll use Put on a Show as the rod, just because right, HaveanEncore goes well with Peace Out if we get the combo with TrustFall and again. And I guess Put on a Show is more of a later game card. I guess if we knew that they were playing green, I would keep Put on a Show. So maybe I should have kept the Put on a Show over the Have an Encore, but I think the Have an Encore is more flexible, and we can always cycle that for a better card. So not really sure, but let's kind of see. Also depends on what type of deck we're playing. All right, so let's see. So nothing, no information on the first turn. So let's see. Okay, so so we have a Grow Together. All right, so I think we don't really need the Grow Together. Yeah, so that's okay. So we'll play the Bamboo. So yeah, so with the Popcorn, right, we run no buff cards with the Popcorn. So I think you basically the best you can kind of hope for with a Popcorn is a 2-for-1. All right, so this is blue. I think I've seen this before. I think this is some sort of snow globe deck, if I remember correctly. So this is gonna have like Bashful Swordsman in it. It's gonna have Spring a Leak, and then Points Rich, not Points Rich, Penguin of Great Mystique, and then Snow Globe. So against that type of deck, I really want Put on a Show. So I do regret playing that down as a rod, and I think Popcorn is going to be not very useful in this deck. So okay, so Peace Out. All right, so I think um yeah, so I think I'm going to put but the question is, what if it's not that, right? But I'm pretty sure it is that, just because I recognize the name of the person I'm playing. But right, if this ends up just being a straight up blue mill deck, then we're in huge trouble. But okay, so it's not. Yeah, I'm very sure it's this kind of slower, more snow globy type setup. So all right, so how are we gonna be able to handle this? So the penguin with Great Mystique, we can take care of the turn it gets played with the Peace Out Penguin. So that's not bad. But how are we gonna handle the snow globe? So yeah, snow globe is pretty brutal for us, right? So the way that we would deal with the snow globe is because Screaming Penguin won't work. So it has to just be with removal, right? So the way we would deal with the snow globe is um Yeah, so we just need yeah, so the put on a show would be critical here, which we don't have. Okay, so Sunburn, I think is gonna be well, what if they have a popcorn, right? If they have a popcorn, I really need Sunburn. So I guess I can get rid of Have an Encore. Um, should I just remove their board fully this turn? I think that's maybe not a bad idea. Um, because what I can do is I can trust fall into a peace out and kind of just no, wait, that doesn't work because they're gonna add up to more than 10. Okay, so we can't do that. So let's just wait. Um, yeah, so I think right, I think there's gonna be a popcorn potentially coming next turn, which is gonna be very difficult for us. Like the popcorn will 2-for-1 us. Well, we could trust fall. We could trust fall peace out. Um, and then we can end up being even on the popcorn. But yeah, it's definitely not gonna be nice with the popcorn because we're gonna then be basically lose both of our peace outs. So yeah, I'm still struggling because I just don't see how we can beat Snow Globe with this deck, right? So this is a new kind of development in the meta since coming up with this list, and yeah, I really don't see a good solution for that. So I guess we'll play the Screaming. Yeah, okay. So do we even want to win the vibe check? I don't think we want to win the vibe check, but at least we want to yeah. Well, and if we use the trust fall, right, on the Frosty, well, or do we just want to sunburn it? But I think we want to buy as much time as possible. So I think we'll trust fall the Frosty and then we'll wait. Or should we trust fall the so if we trust fall the Amazing Penguin, right? And then we use a peace out. If they use a not a rod anymore, it ends up canceling the action. But in that case, we could have an encore. Yeah, let's do that because it's actually going to still be a good. Well, no, because then we won't have Pudge to do it. Okay, so we wouldn't have Pudge to do that. Um, well, we could WhataTwist at that point, but well, if we do Sunburn, hmm, yeah, but I'm worried about the Penguin with Great Mystique. So I think we just Sunburn. Do we want to win the vibe check? I actually don't think we want to win the vibe check, and we'll leave the Peace Out unflopped just because there's a chance that we'll want to, yeah, just yeah, to cycle it. Okay, so yeah, but I still don't see a way, right? So we need to stop the Penguin with Great Mystique. But the problem is, even if the Penguin with Great Mystique, we neutralize that, there's no way we can deal with the Swordsman. The only way we can deal with the Swordsman is with what's it called? With Put on a Show. So we have two more Put on a Show in the deck. So if we got a Red Mega Penguin now and we just cycle like crazy, um, that could maybe work. Okay, so we get the Red Mega Penguin. Okay, so we're just gonna pop off here and just hope that this is enough. Um, because yeah, there's really no other way that we're gonna win this. So okay, so how are we gonna do this? So we're gonna trust fall, and then we're going to have an encore, and then we're gonna maybe sunburn, maybe something else. So I have a feeling. Oh, but they might have right. They might have spring a leak. So, but it's okay if they spring a leak something. It's not the end of the world. Okay, so we're gonna yeah, we're gonna trust follow the red mega penguin. Do we want to win? Yeah, I think we want to win the vibe check. So because we're gonna be drawing a lot of cards. So let's see. So and then the other trust fall, we're gonna put that on the sneaky penguin. Yeah, because our goal is gonna be to remove the sneaky penguin. So I probably should have left the peace out unflopped. So that was definitely a mistake. But okay, let's see what we draw. Worst case, we can use our WhataTwist. But yeah, I think we just really want to just draw as many cards as possible. So here's kind of the thing I was talking about earlier where we really need action cards now. We don't need penguin cards. So let's just see. Yeah, let's just see what's happening here. And oh, so I guess the one thing with the spring a leak is right, you'll only be able to cancel one of these. So no matter what, the Peace Out Penguin is gonna get it's gonna get unflopped. Because right, even if they spring a leak one here, the other one will go through. So let's see. So hopefully we draw some more actions and we can keep this train going. But if we can't, I still think this is the perfect turn. Yeah, now we definitely want to use a Peace Out this turn. But let's see what else we get. If we get another draw card, no. Okay, so we'll use a Peace Out now. And even if they do a not a rod anymore, it's okay because it's just going to fizzle the action, but then the peace out ends up not getting it ends up not getting canceled. So, all right, so okay, so the game plan is kind of yeah, so okay, so then the question is, do we just no, we don't do anything because next turn we're going to just play double peace out and then we'll do sunburn again because right, what should happen here is I think this fizzles and it ends up not icing itself. So it's basically just a 1 for 0 for us, which is not the end of the world. So, and next turn they're not going to be able to clear the board, right? And so we do have a lot of card advantage. So all we need to do is yeah, so okay, so we definitely play the double peace outs. I think the wizard penguin can become the rod. Well, I don't really need well the second red mega penguin might be useful, I guess, because it could if I draw a have an encore. So I really want to actually lose a vibe check here. But I think one nice thing is I can yeah, I really wish I could 2 for 1 them. But yeah, there's actually no way I can yeah. So the idea is basically yeah, so do I want to cuz right, they're going to do their finishing turn this turn. So I could sunburn. Hmm. Yeah. So right, if the snow globe comes down next turn. The problem is if the snow globe comes down next turn, there's nothing we can do about it, right? Because our peace outs will stop working as well. So do we just lose do we just say okay, we're going to lose the snow globe, right? Because they're going to have 5, 8. So that even if we win the vibe check, they're going to have 8. So I think yeah, I think we just basically say we lose the snow globe or snow globe swordsman, let's say. We lose the snow globe swordsman and um we'll give them one less draw at it. So bearish sentiment is completely useless. I mean, not useless because we can draw 2 cards with it. So theoretically, if they don't have snow globe, we're going to win next turn. But I don't think that's a good way to play against this deck because we're basically saying like we're going to win. Yeah, so here comes the snow globe. And then yeah, so now there's really no way out of this, right? Um yeah, okay. So yeah, ultimately there's nothing we can do here. So I mean, we'll play our cards, I guess, but yeah. So okay, so if we had kept our what's it called? So if we kept the put on a show at the beginning, how would that change things? So that um yeah, I mean we can make this lose its abilities, but that doesn't really do anything. So if we had kept our yeah, if we kept our what's it called? If we kept our put on a show, because if we draw put on a show here, we can survive one more turn. But then like how are we even getting past the snow globe? I don't think we have anything in our deck. So if we got another put on no. Yeah, then we would need like TrustFall. Um, yeah, well, okay, anyway, it's Spring of Leaks, but there's no way. Yeah, there was no way out of this anyway. So I think, yeah, so I think overall, this is not a good deck for the meta right now. So we'll see. Yeah, I still, or at least against this matchup, I just don't see that it's going to be a good match, just because I really think this deck has no way to beat Snow Globe. So I think that's something to think about with it. Yeah, so anyway. All right, so not a great start. So hopefully we won't run into another snow globe deck. And I think I do need to now that the snow globe builds are more popular, I'm kind of thinking that this deck just might really need an answer for that. But oh, so maybe we should put in the action to remove the relic back to the hand. Maybe that would be maybe that's good because otherwise we really have no answer for snow globe. All right, so let's take a look at the list. Okay, so I think I'm going to put in the snow globe. We're going to put in the relic removal. So that's the what's it called? Yeah, so I think that's hit the high note maybe. I think that's maybe what it's called. Yeah. So okay, so if we put choose a relic, yeah. So because right, what we could have done on that turn is we play like hit the high note, and then if we played hit the high note, then the swordsman ices itself, and then right we can also use the peace outs and clear the board. So, okay, so let's put 2 copies of this in just so that we have a chance against Snow Globe. So what do we cut from the deck then for that? Because this deck list is already very tight. So I think okay, so we think we take the twists down to 2 just because caffeine is not really that popular. And then let's see what else. We're already down to 2 bearish. So put on a show also like it wouldn't have saved us there, but it would have helped us a little bit. So, yeah, so what else can we really cut? That's the problem with this list is it's a very tight list. So okay, so I think okay, so I guess we take Sunburn down. I really don't like taking Sunburn down because it's our main way to deal with popcorn. Okay, so let's not do that. So maybe we just take Hit a High Note down to just 1 copy and we just say like, okay, we just want what's it called? We just want like a chance that and right, because you do draw it through a lot of your deck. So it's like one of those cards where it's just like, okay, when you play the game, maybe you'll find it. All right. So anyway, let's jump to the next game and see how this additional if this card change helps us in this kind of matchup. Well, we'll see if we even run into that matchup. All right, taking a look at the mulligans. So we've got the Wizard Penguin, we've got 2 Sunburns, Mega. So I think we keep the Mega, we keep a Sunburn. I guess we keep a Twist too. Yeah, so I think maybe something like this is a good start because at least yeah, we're still gonna lose to popcorn unless we get well, we have the Sunburn, which is the best for popcorn. Okay, so we've got the bamboo. So we okay, so we definitely have like a good start from a like penguin standpoint. And so now we really are looking to okay, so we're looking to roll into the red mega penguin. Maybe we want to just get a fast red mega on the board. So okay, so we're playing against caffeine. And so right, we have the WhataTwist already. So that's gonna help us on the final turn. Although right, against caffeine, we also have what's it called? We have the hit the high note maybe could be useful against caffeine. Like maybe we take out an inspiring story on a key turn. I'm not sure if that's really going to be useful. But okay, so we've got a trust fall too. So the idea is we're just going to yeah, so we're well, because the stuff is gonna get flopped. We want all the penguins we have. So and I think we want to keep the sunburn. Um so we'll play the because right, otherwise popcorn penguin is gonna wreck us. And yeah, so caffeine definitely runs popcorn penguin. And so the trust fall is just kind of the trigger for the red mega penguin, but I just want to go as wide as possible because the caffeine is going to be flopping our penguins, right? So because the caffeine flops our penguins, we want to be able to, right? We want to be able to go, we want to be able to go wide so that we don't have the problem where we don't have the pudge because right, pudge is going to be difficult. So the way that this matchup works is right. We just kind of try to tread water. They also don't usually have a good way to remove the red mega penguin. Like the only way to do that is to have a popcorn that's really buffed up. All right, so we've got another penguin. I definitely want to keep the sunburn. So I guess we'll play the peace out. And yeah, so the peace out is maybe good. I mean, it definitely can be good in this matchup. Although it's yeah, it's hard to get a 2 for 1. And so right, peace out is just so strong against yellow because it's very easy to get a 2 for 1. But in this matchup, it can definitely be more difficult. So the question is, do we even want to win the vibe check? I kind of feel like we don't want to win the vibe check, right? Because we need to play the bamboo penguin anyway. So I think let's just play it slower. Let's keep them a bit starved of cards because we actually want cards. We don't want rods because right, we're not going to play the red mega this turn, even if we could, because right, because what would playing it mean? Playing it would mean that we would we would have to give up our wizard penguin, which we definitely don't want to do. So all right, so let's see. So okay, so grow together is perfect. I think we just keep playing this like really slow. Like I don't need to because I think we're gonna win this vibe check. I don't think there's any card that they could play, any combination of cards that would make them. I guess if they played two drops this turn, then we wouldn't. Then we would tie the vibe check. But I really want to keep the grow together to kind of play it. Okay, so yeah, so now we're gonna have to just play the sunburn anyway, right? Because we're gonna lose our well, yeah. Ugh, it's really sad because, um, if we had initiative like, if we had initiative, we could play the red mega penguin, and then the popcorn would ice itself, but we don't have a yeah, we don't have that anyway. Okay, so the question is oh, yeah, so we can't even get rid of we can't even get rid of the popcorn because we don't even have 2 pudge. So, right, even though we kept the sunburn, it's not good enough. So Yeah, because of the caffeine. I wasn't taking into account that. So, okay, so are we just gonna lose to this popcorn? That's gonna be very unfortunate. So, is the only thing that we can do is kind of, like, outlast the popcorn. Oh, I could have used my WhataTwist. Okay, so that was definitely a mistake. Okay, so we're just gonna we're just gonna accept that this popcorn's gonna get a 2 for 1, right? So, the popcorn will, if they play Inspiring Story here, the popcorn will then just remove the Peace Out, and so, yeah, I guess I should have WhataTwisted to remove it. So that was definitely a mistake on my part. Yeah, so I'm definitely rusty playing this deck. Okay, so they didn't remove it. So they played the green Mega Penguin. Okay. So not terrible, but we're still not in a good position, right? Because hmm. So do we want to use a What a Twist? No, because we only have 2 What a Twists in the deck. And so we just need to get more Pudge. And we really need the have an encore. So okay, so it's turn 7. So we have a few more turns. But yeah, I think okay, so this matchup always feels like you're behind the whole time, and that's how I feel right now. So let's see. Let's see what happens. But I'm definitely worried about this. So we really need penguins here because we need to get okay, well, that's not quite the penguins I was looking for, but I guess I would play it over the peace out. Like let's say that they play a well, it might be a good way to react to if another popcorn comes out. So but yeah, I don't have a lot of turns left. And the nice thing about 2 red megas is, yeah, okay, so the hungry penguin, not a big deal. Okay, so, ugh, I really need another penguin, but okay, so I can wait one more turn. So the question is, do I want to get rid of the peace out for the red mega? And I think I don't. Do I want to play a rod? I kind of feel like I need to play a rod just to get closer to the end. So sunburn, I think at this point sunburn is not going to be useful. Because if another yeah, I think Sunburn is the least useful. And the question is, do we play this Red Mega? So if we play the next Red Mega, it's going to make having an Encore be really good. But yeah, so that's the only question. But peace out. Will peace out buy us another turn? Yeah, if we can get the peace out off on the hungry, we'll get another turn. So right, because they're at 10 cards right now, 11, 12. So getting one more turn might be critical. So I don't want to give up the opportunity to get one more turn. So let's see. So yeah, so what's gonna need to happen is I need to draw a penguin this next turn. Once I draw a penguin, then right, I'll use a What a Twist. Right, I'll draw a penguin. I'll play GrowTogether. Then I'll play What a Twist. That one flop 2 things. Then I'll play hopefully another action, and then I will use a peace out. So okay, so now, but if they get another caffeine, then we are definitely in real trouble. But yeah, okay, so let's see. So at least we drew another penguin. And I think this red mega is gonna become a rod this upcoming turn. Yeah, and I think it's definitely important to play a rod every turn, because if we don't do that, right, we still need to win the game, and we only have two What a Twists in the deck now. I mean, luckily we drew them both, but it's still gonna be rough. So, okay, so we got 2 penguins. Okay, so that's perfect. So that means we can actually do again, grow together, which will just give us an additional draw. So, okay, so let's start like this. Okay, so what are we gonna do? So we're gonna first play again. Or no, okay, we could just play okay, we could save both our What a Twist because we really want a Screaming Penguin, right? Okay, so they didn't play any cards from their hand. So that's kind of interesting. So yeah, because I'd like to save my What a Twist. So maybe they have like a swordsman or something like that. Yeah, so I think the What a Twists are really important to save. So if I can get away with not playing the yeah, so we'll just keep making this red Mega Penguin big. I mean, there's some I guess I could have gotten it done again and again, and I could have gotten it to 9. And I could have tied this vibe check, but I think that's not a problem per se, right? So we really need to get the Screaming Penguin. And then again and again will be good when we have the Screaming Penguin. So so then the question is, do we want to use a peace out? But I guess we'll see what cards we draw. Um If we drew maybe a TrustFall, then we could not use the Peace Out or like do the combo Sunburn. Okay, so now, yeah, so I think we now need to, do we need to Peace Out? Right, so next turn 5. So next turn we can play both of these on the left. Um, yeah, if we bring him down to 11, that means, yeah, because we're not gonna have a shortage of penguins, and I just want to get this hungry penguin off the board. And yeah, let's see. So I think, yeah, but I'm definitely still worried. Um, because I don't really see how. Yeah, well, we need the screaming penguin, right? That's the answer. If we had the screaming penguin, we can outgrow it for 1 turn. Right? They're probably thinking about doing some sort of swordsman finish, maybe with a snow globe. But okay, so trustfall again and again. Okay, so we can do the combo, but right, the combo is not going to help us if there's a snow globe, and it's also not going to help us against green mega penguin. So at least we can draw a lot of cards. But again, like, what's drawing a lot of cards going to do if we don't have the screaming penguin? So yeah, so I think they're going to go for the. Okay, so they're going to go for popcorn. Okay, so we can make the popcorn ice itself. So that's not bad. Okay, so we'll play this on here. So that should buy us 1 more turn because the popcorn will ice itself. And then I think sunburn is just not going to happen, and we'll play the bamboo. And so now we also have an encore. So we're going to draw a ton of cards this turn. So okay, so yeah, so we'll draw a ton of cards, and then we just really have to hope we get to screaming penguin. So okay, so let's see. So okay, so what are we going to flop here? Nothing, right? Okay. So then, do we just want to go full card draw? No, because we have to do trust fall and then have an encore because we want the WhataTwists. Yeah, worst case we can. Yeah, because we'll be fully unflopped and having drawn a bunch of cards. So yeah, so let's start with trust fall. So we do the first trust fall on the red. No, we'll do it on our smaller one, right? Because if we end up drawing, yeah, so if we end up drawing, what's it called? Yeah, we don't want to lower that to 2. So I guess we'll do it that. Because if we end up drawing GrowTogether, we can actually win this vibe check. Not sure if we'd want to win the vibe check, but I think that's just something to leave the option open. So we'll do the trust fall. Okay, so let's see what we draw. Okay, so another again and again. So I definitely need to start using these again and agains, even if it's just for another draw. Okay, popcorn is useless. So now we'll do a have an encore to draw 3 cards. So we start with the 2 red mega penguins. And then we copy it onto our 2 other penguins. Well, actually, I want to just do, yeah, because, right, what if they have a Gotham? Then they can cancel one of it. So, yeah, I don't really like, that we've ended up in the situation where we have a 2 vibe penguin. So I think maybe I should have just put the, what's it called? The second trust fall on this. Yep. So it's exactly what I was thinking was going to happen. So that was definitely a mistake. I was thinking about getting this one into a position where I can kind of boost it to face the what's it called? To face the green mega penguin. But okay, so we're gonna just cycle some more. So we can do again and again in trust fall here. So at least we're gonna draw another 3 cards. So yeah, we missed out on 1 card draw, but that's okay. So and if we draw, yeah, so I guess we can do the double trust fall and the peace out this time because if we draw a grow together, we can still oh no, we have to do it on the red mega. But yeah, we're definitely not we're not putting this one down to 2. So okay, so we'll put all 3 on there, so that's gonna go down to 3. So yeah, so I've never actually run into this situation where it's like we're trying to keep all our penguins out of Gotham range, but I guess that makes sense in this matchup. So we're gonna draw 3 more cards. So we really need the screaming penguin. All right, so hit the high note. Hit the high note will be good because, right, if they try to get to exactly 14, we should be able to. Yeah, so okay, so hit the high note. All right, so we have our hit the high note. We have our grow together with again and again. So I think we just pass here because we should be able to survive one more turn. Like because for them to get to if they get to just 14 this turn, right? Then we're going to be able to use hit the high note to buy a turn by removing the caffeine. So maybe they're going to have like a inspiring story, right? And if they play something else, I should be able to remove it. Like, right, I guess swordsman. I'm not sure exactly, but like, right, we should be able to. Yeah, like for example, yeah. So, but here we just let the swordsman. We just unflop the swordsman. Maybe. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so definitely the popcorn is not going to be useful, and we play the contemplative. So this is the yeah. So this is definitely what we're doing from a penguin perspective. So now the question is, how do we not lose the game here? So what we could do, right? They're going to flop their own swordsman, right? Because or if they don't flop the swordsman, I just hit the high note, the relic. Yeah. Okay. So I think, and then we let the swordsman fizzle, right? Okay. Yeah. So we do this. Okay. So we're gonna hit the high note, the relic. So we can start with So do we start with grow together and get to 11? All right. Well, if they get 2 grow togethers, they can get us all the way to 13. Well, can I outrace this? Because if I go again and again grow together, that will enable me to play 3, but then I can get all the way up to 14. And then yeah, so that's not gonna actually work this turn. So okay, so I think we just do grow together. And we do it on this red mega penguin. Okay, so we confirm it there and we pay 2 pudge like that. Okay, so we put both grow togethers on the red mega penguin. Right. And then we're gonna play hit the high note on the caffeine, and then the swordsman will ice itself. Um, if we draw one more grow together, we can actually outgrow the green mega penguin. So that'll be an interesting way to win if we're able to do that. But it's not really clear if that option is going to be on the table. So let's see. Okay, so it's interesting. So hit the high note is actually useful, which I'm kind of surprised about. Okay, so yeah, so they're going to just pass back. Then we're going to play hit the high note. And then we'll play the pudge. Okay, so oh well, wait, we're technically okay. They put all the things on our red mega penguin, so our red mega penguin is actually going to be bigger than their green mega penguin next turn. So yeah. So wait, is this going to actually work? That would be crazy. Although I think that was a misplay on their part. They were not playing around hit the high note, but again, I don't know if that's a reasonable card to play around. So right now we wait. The swordsman ices itself. So unless they draw inspiring story, our red mega penguin will be bigger. And so that's why it was important to not play the what's it called, the again and again there, because then it would have been 14 versus 14. Now, one of the main problems here is we still don't have a okay, so I think we're gonna win here. So we just need to get enough permanence on the board. Okay, so we'll play the wizard penguin. Yeah, so we play the wizard penguin. Popcorn definitely becomes a rod. I guess we might as well play this red wizard just because that gives us 1 additional pudge this turn. Well, but the wizard can get unflopped. But the wizard, yeah, well, yeah. Oh, and we have another grow together. So our penguin is going to get giant. So yeah, so yeah, so we're going to be doing unflopping anyway. So in that case, yeah, well, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, we'll get rid of that one. Okay. So in this case, we can go, right? So we're going to need to do, but we have 2 WhataTwists. So even if they're able to do something this turn, we should be fine. Because, okay, so we're going to go again and again with grow together first. Well, no, actually, let's just do WhataTwist, right? Oh, so maybe I should have kept the wizard unflopped. So, well, if we go again and again grow together, right? Because if I want grow together as a combo, right? Because, oh, well, we're not going to win anyway because we're only on 14. So it's going to take 2 turns. So we might as well just draw as many cards as we can this turn. while still. Okay, so we're gonna do again and again, right? Because the problem is, right, we were never gonna be able to draw multiple because of what's it called? Right. So we just want to try to make this one as big as possible. So now we play Grow Together. So we do it on that. And we play Pay to Pudge. Okay. So we're going to do it on that. And I'm not sure why we didn't get the third copy, right? Because we should have gotten a third copy from Again and Again. So there must be something weird going on with Again and Again. So it's going to be annoying now because if they draw an inspiring story, we're going to lose. But oh, wait, okay. Because we were waiting for them to choose. Okay, good. Okay, so never mind. So, right, what do we lose to from here? We would lose to like double inspiring story. But right, maybe we're gonna draw so many cards this turn. So maybe we're still gonna be fine. Because then we're also gonna keep all our WhataTwist. Oh no, actually right, because right, we can do HaveanEncore instead of the WhataTwist. So we will yeah. Oh, they put it on the contemplator, so they clearly don't have any Gotems. All right, so HaveanEncore is better than WhataTwist because we end up not using yeah, we end up not using what's it called? Like we end up not using a permanent. So yeah, so okay, so we do that. And then right, we should be fully unflopped with a 16 vibe red mega. So this game has turned out basically exactly like this was like an ideal game. And it was very interesting because Hit the High Note actually worked really well in this matchup. So maybe we should adjust the list to put a second Hit the High Note in. Because it did actually, because I think they were not expecting it. So that definitely helped. And it definitely helped buy us at one extra turn. So yeah, so it looks like we're in a good spot here, right? Because we have a 16 vibe Red Mega Penguin. Now I will say that they drew not the best, right? Generally with caffeine, right? No inspiring stories. Although we could have handled one inspiring story. But yeah, okay, cool. So I think that's gonna be, yeah, that's gonna be a good game. So, well, I'm kind of surprised. Well, I'm definitely surprised that Hit that high note turned out well. But it also like, yeah, so it ended up turning out to be a really good game. Okay, so let's look back at the deck because I want to put a second Hit the High Note in after that game. So let's just look back at our deck and let's see what else what we can take out because yeah, that worked really well. So okay, so we definitely want to put the second Hit the High Note in. So so let's just put that in already. Where's Hit the High Note? Let's see. All right, so I guess the card that's most obvious talking to me is Sunburn because like even Sunburn wasn't useful there. And I guess against Popcorn, we also have Peace Out. So, like, yeah, I think we just have to go down to 3 Sunburn. I do feel like I often have Sunburns that I'm not using. So I think we could just go down to Sunburns. So let's go down to, okay, so Sunburn a Penguin here. Let's save this. Okay, so this is the kind of updated like deck list. So we've basically put in 2 Hit the High Notes and we've taken out 1 WhataTwist and 1 Sunburn. So yeah, so let's see. Okay, so we'll play one more game and yeah, let's see if we can end the day on a winning record. All right, taking a look at the next mulligan. All right, so what do we have here? So we have a still Sunburn. Definitely keep that. So I think we're gonna just keep all the penguins and the Sunburn. So popcorn. So popcorn is interesting because right, maybe we should just take popcorn out of this deck. Like I feel like we've had it the last 2 games, but like without any of the buff cards, it is just really weak. But okay, so we'll play grow together. So I guess the one thing with popcorn is it is still like if this is yellow, right, it's gonna really help. But again, we could say against yellow, we have PeaceOutPenguin. Okay, so unfortunately it's not yellow. Oh, I guess against BizBunk, popcorn is really helpful too. So well, I guess we're only running 2 of in it. So it's maybe one of those cards that depending on the matchup you keep or not. Okay, so all right, so we have wizard. So I guess we don't need a bamboo. I guess we can go wizard into peace out, into maybe the popcorn. Like I will definitely rod the popcorn as soon as I see what deck they're playing. Yeah, and I guess against the popcorn on their side, right? Because we have 2 wizards. it's going to be fine either way because, right, the popcorn can only remove one. Okay, so it's some sort of green deck. So I do think, right, the popcorn could be good if they have a popcorn. But again, right, if they have a popcorn and a buff card, right, they can remove our wizard, but then the popcorn has to remove itself. So probably not the best either way. So let's see, right? If they were to play popcorn this turn, then I think I would just let the popcorn fizzle. Like just play nothing. Um so let's see. Okay, because it's gonna go sliding. So it's probably gonna go sliding into popcorn. So we definitely need to because right, if I play the piece out this turn, the popcorn comes and then I don't have the pudge. So yeah, so we're gonna have to play the wizard, and I think I'll play the popcorn as a rod, just because I just really see a world where that's gonna work. Okay, so in this case now, we're gonna do we'll do sunburn to against the popcorn that's gonna come next turn. So do we want to just cycle bearish? No, because right, we have the red mega penguin in hand already. So the question is, yeah, so if they right, if so popcorn's gonna come this turn, and then I mean it's not guaranteed, but I'm like this is such a tempting popcorn board from their side. So yeah, as I expected. Okay, so right, we knew the popcorn was coming. So this turn we still play we play the piece out, and then we will play so we need to keep the sunburn for the popcorn. I definitely want to play the red mega next turn, so I have to play something. So I guess hit the high note. It's probably unlikely that they're playing it's unlikely that they're playing what's it called? That they're playing snow globe in the green deck. That's more of like a caffeine deck thing. So either way, right, we could completely clear their board. Is there any merit to doing that? Um yeah, if we completely clear their board, that might not be a bad idea. Um so let's see. Okay, either way. So they're gonna remove that. So then the question is, so we sunburn the popcorn, um, for sure, just to make sure that this doesn't get removed. And then the question is, okay, so if we go to completely clearing their board, what is that going to do for us, right? If we completely clear the board, we play red mega next turn, and we basically only have a red mega on the board. I would much rather, yeah, I think, but that's going to bring them back down to 6. Then they have 2 cards in hand, like a Romulus or something like that. Yeah, but I want to be able to actually use the red mega penguin. So I think the piece out, right? We should be able to use it again. Um, right, if they play something like an inspiring story. But I'm still thinking like, okay, the contemplative makes things interesting because maybe I can afford to wait one more turn. Although I would love to just start cycling. So maybe I just remove the piece out. Now, if a second popcorn comes, that is definitely going to be harsh. Okay, but second popcorn didn't come. So okay, so we're going to need to cycle a lot. Um, okay, so we have the screaming penguin too. So maybe the thing is, so we could just play the red mega this turn, and we'll use the yeah. So if we play the red mega this turn, do we want to keep? Because if we play the red mega this turn, we can use BearishSentiment to draw 2 cards, and the next turn we go off with screaming. It's gonna be sad to lose the red wizard, but I think that's what we have to do. And do we want to keep? Yeah, we want to keep the piece out. So yeah, so I think we go like this. Um, Now, what if they have a what's it called? A walk the runway. If they have a walk the runway, it is going to be unfortunate. Right. Hmm. Yeah, so walk the runway is yeah, so we have basically no good answer to a walk the runway. But I don't really see so we made sure to use the other bear sentiment not on the a wizard penguin so that the walk the runway can't we at least get one draw. Okay, so they're gonna let the draws resolve. So they don't have walk the runway. So okay, so we have hit the high note again. All right, so that's um maybe gonna be useful. Okay, so next turn, I really would like a TrustFall. If I had a TrustFall, then I could get the Romulus removed with a Peace Out maybe. So okay, so we have all right. So we have a bunch of draw next turn. We have hit the high note. Um, so let's see. Let's see what they do. So they could go for the win here, but right, if they go for the win, we can definitely clear the board some amount. Um, so hit the high note might buy us a turn. It might like kind of mess with them. So not terrible there. This with the Screaming Penguin, we can definitely get bigger than the Romulus at this point. Although if they have a cleanup good, that won't work anymore. So I guess we really are looking for yeah, we want to cycle a lot. And then when we get the put on a show, we can remove the Romulus. And with the Peace Out, we can remove the small stuff. So definitely, if I have an opportunity this turn with a Peace Out, I will remove both their small things. But right, they might right. Okay, so now I can't remove both their small things anyway. So we'll use hit the high note here maybe. Okay, so do we want to just play the second? Okay, so they have 14 total. So with hit the high note, we can probably buy one turn. So I think we just play the Screaming Penguin. And then we'll do the BearishSentiment again, just to cycle that. And then this time we'll have the PeaceOutPenguin unflopped. And there's a chance we'll do hit the high note, depending on what we draw. Because I'd like to keep it as a surprise, just to keep them off 14 next turn. Like as like a pseudo removal to buy one more turn. Because with this deck, you're always really just trying to buy one more turn. So, so let's see. Do we have any? Well, I guess we have an encore. So we can always do have an encore. So let's see if they respond to this. No, but I don't really want to play. Yeah, I want. I. Yeah. So what's it called? The walk the runway potential is really tough here. Okay, so we do have the put on a show now, so I think we should be able to survive one more turn. So do we want to play hit the high note? No, because I want to keep it as a surprise. So next turn we play the Peace Out. So we need to probably survive at least two more turns. So we can have okay. So we have TrustFall 2, so that's interesting. So we definitely have a lot of options here, and we have a lot of cards. So yeah, so I think this game is going to go on for two more turns. Maybe we're playing this too slow, but again, I feel like we're kind of short on penguins or short on pudge. Maybe put it like that, and we're short on permanents. So okay, so but okay, so popcorn definitely is going to become a rod. We can definitely win this vibe check coming up with the Screaming Penguin, but we really need to think about what's it called about walk the runway. So okay, so that is unfortunate for sure. Okay, so we'll do Peace Out Penguin. So at least one of our Peace Out. Well, if we play popcorn, what happens if we play popcorn? If we play popcorn, right? Wait, if we play popcorn, then they can boost their popcorn, so that doesn't work. Okay, so we have to play Peace Out, and popcorn might as well become the rod. So they're at 14. So okay, so this is going to be a. So we have to remove their popcorn anyway, right? Or do we? Yeah, if we don't remove their popcorn, it's going to get messy. So, hmm. Yeah, we don't really have pudge. So okay, so right, so they probably have what's it called, walk the runway. But I don't think there's anything we can do about walk the runway, right? So maybe we just do hit the high note. Um oh yeah, so okay, so I think we'll just do hit the high note on the inspiring story to start things off. Because and then we can do have an encore. Yeah, I think we do hit the high note, have an encore, and still have the peace out ready because yeah, I think they're thinking about do I do the what's it called? So let's just let this resolve. Let's do this one step at a time. Okay, so we bought one more turn. So we definitely though need to remove the popcorn. So okay, so we'll do have an encore. And we will just do it like that. So we're only unflopping one per spell copy, just so that if they do use the Walk the Runway here, that we're safe. Because I think they're planning on using Walk the Runway on the PeaceOutPenguin. So, because we're going to need that for the popcorn. So if they use the walk the Runway here, we can respond. But I guess otherwise, right, they're going to be able to cancel it either way. So we're definitely in a tight spot here. But I don't really see. Yeah, I don't see another path really. I really need more pudge is the problem. So these popcorns are definitely a problem. But maybe I'll draw a Sunburn. If I drew a Sunburn, that would be really good. No, Sunburn won't even work because it's at 6-5. So in Sunburn, never mind that. Okay, so yeah. So I'm going to assume that they, yeah, right. Walk the Runway is really the problem. If I knew they didn't have Walk the Runway, I would feel very good because then I would just remove the popcorn with my Peace Out, and then I would just use PutonaShow on the Romulus. Okay, so they're going to let this resolve again. Okay, so we are going to be able to get very big next turn, but right, we need to remove the popcorn. So, okay, so if I use a Peace Out on the popcorn now, and then they Walk the Runway, do I have anything I can do about that? No. So the alternative is if I just remove the Romulus, then if I just remove the Romulus, no, I think I need to go for this. Ugh, but it's gonna, yeah, right. It's gonna just, yeah, if they Walk the Runway, we'll lose. But I don't see, yeah, I think we have to just go for it because, and it's really scary because they played a Bounce House Rod. So I think they realized that Walk the Runway is the card they needed. So yeah, the second popcorn was brutal. Okay, so now we will at least, yeah, I guess we'll just at least play the TrustFall, just to draw more cards. So, oh, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have put the second one on the Mega Penguin because now I'm going to, oh, no, wait, no, never mind. I thought I could have done double TrustFall on the Peace Out. Um, so maybe that's how I should have done this. Yeah, if I would have done again and again, no, because that one don't have. I'm really one pudge short. So, okay, so definitely going to be difficult here. But okay, so at least we have the contemplative to draw the popcorn away next turn. So we should be able to like PutonaShow the yeah, definitely. So we were able to handle one popcorn, but I just think the second popcorn is too much. Right? Because they're gonna well, yeah, so there's really no good way to deal with the popcorn at this point. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to just, right, so we assume, okay, so all right, so now we know what they have. So the question is it possible to survive 2 more turns like this? Because we're definitely not going to win this upcoming turn. All right, so we'll play it like that. And I guess we'll play another Screaming Penguin. So we're going to just have 3 Pudge again this turn, which is definitely not good. But okay, so we have 1 HaveanEncore and 1 WhataTwist. So the nice thing is they're Hungry Penguin. Well, I guess they can flop stuff. Yeah, okay, so we need to get rid of the Romulus, but we're going to lose. Oh, no, we only have 3 Pudge. Okay, so we're going to need the WhataTwist. Okay, so let's see so how are we going to do this? So, okay, so we start. So we're going to WhataTwist for sure. Yeah, so, okay, so I think we start with PutonaShow. Or no. Okay, so we can start with Again and Again and TrustFall. Well, do we want to draw first and see what we're going to draw? No, I think because we're gonna. Well, okay, so maybe okay. So if we again and again in TrustFall, then if we get, let's see, if we again and again TrustFall just to draw first. No, okay, so maybe we just TrustFall and have an encore. Well, because I need to. No, okay, so let's just start with the put on a show. Okay, we start with the put on a show, and then we're gonna be able to unflop with the yeah, because we just need to win. We just need to make it one more turn, right? I mean, we'll have to make it multiple turns, but right now the only thing we're thinking about is how to make it one turn. And what would help us here? So I think like a um, sunburn will be useful. So yeah, so at least we're gonna win this vibe check, right? Oh, and that, so okay, so if I would have kept the popcorn in my hand, okay, so not keeping the popcorn in my hand was a big mistake because had I kept the popcorn in the hand, I could have dealt with their popcorn penguin, knowing that I'm gonna win the vibe check now. So right now they're going to use a hungry penguin, I think, because right we're winning the vibe check. So if they don't use the hungry penguin, yeah, if they use a hungry penguin. So now to kind of deal with that, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play again and again. Yeah, so I'm going to play again and again with the screaming penguin and just let these resolve. And then I'll use HaveanEncore to unflop everything. So yeah, we're going to win this vibe check, I'm pretty sure, because even if they have a what's it called? A WhataTwist. Well, so now the question is, do we play around WhataTwist? So maybe I just threw away a maybe I threw away a what's it called? No, because I could use the 3 trust falls on the yeah, so I'm gonna unflop everything here. And so now the question is gonna be, yeah, okay, so sunburn, okay. But what would I need here? So is grow together useful? If I do grow together, yeah, because if they have WhataTwist, okay, so do we play as if they don't have WhataTwist? Like, do we lose anyway? Because if they have WhataTwist, right? If I play a action now, um, yeah, but I think I just have to keep going. So I think I'm gonna use I think I'm gonna use grow together. Um, maybe there's some world. Yeah, so this play loses to WhataTwist, which is probably a high probability that they have. But I think there's some possibility that they don't have WhataTwist. And I think I'm at the point where, right, I'm only at 9 permanents. So, and by doing this grow together, I'm just assuming that they're not familiar with how to play against this deck. Because if they don't put any tokens on their popcorn, like they have to basically evenly distribute their tokens across the 3 penguins on the left. And if they don't do that, so we lose the WhataTwist, and we also this play doesn't help if they don't evenly distribute their tokens. But there's a chance that they maybe don't realize that they have to do that, and they don't have a WhataTwist. And then maybe their popcorn will fizzle next turn. But I think overall, yeah, that second popcorn was a real problem for us. And yeah, so that's I still feel like, but had I kept my popcorn, so had I kept my popcorn, I would have let this turn pass, played the popcorn next turn. The popcorns would have canceled each other out, but I still don't know how I would win from there. So, um, okay, so let's go. So if I had one more WhataTwist, right? He doesn't know that I don't have a WhataTwist. So let's see. Okay, so peace out is perfect. Okay, so they didn't do what they needed to do. So, um, Okay, so if they okay, so they all right, so they didn't have a WhataTwist, and they put their tokens all on the blossoming, which now means that if I mean, obviously, if they get an inspiring story, this doesn't work. But okay, so now the question is, can we survive one more turn? All right, so we definitely want the peace out, and we don't need. Well, we'll definitely play this one of these as a rod. Do we want to upgrade? Oh wait, ugh. Okay, so playing the peace out. Yeah, so the problem with the peace out. Yeah, so yeah, there's no point to do that, right? Ugh, I wasn't thinking about the popcorn. Okay, so well, either way, if I play the Red Mega Penguin now on the peace out, it wouldn't help. Okay, so no, so that was a mistake. But I guess had we gotten the popcorn to fizzle, I'm not sure how we would have. Yeah, so had the popcorn fizzled, so had we not played anything, right? The popcorn would have fizzled. So it really makes no difference on this play, right? Um, whether the popcorn's on the board or not. And I don't think we have a way out this turn anyway, right? So we have to just trust fall. So we trust fall this. Yeah, so we trust fall, and we have to hope to get a okay, we start. Yeah, so what do we need? We need we need a HaveanEncore is the only way out. So if we draw a HaveanEncore, but yeah, so yeah, so obviously if I didn't play the piece out, then if for some reason I draw the HaveanEncore this turn, which I didn't do because right, the hungry is gonna flop here. Okay, so either way we lose. But yeah, I think this is a tough matchup. I think if it wasn't for the second popcorn, I could have handled it. And so I think that does make me question. But I guess the sunburn didn't help, right? The sunburn is good for the first popcorn, but the second one was too a high vibe. And I think I do wonder if there was something I could have played differently there. So yeah, definitely. I feel like again, and that's what I've been saying about this deck. I feel like this game was winnable. I think somehow, and it was definitely that second popcorn. I somehow needed to play around. But again, the question is, do you play around the second popcorn? Because like, if it wasn't for the second popcorn, like I think you got to play like they don't have the second popcorn because this deck is so weak to popcorn. So I mean, had I kept the other popcorn in my hand, realizing I was going to win the vibe check, maybe that would have worked too. But okay, anyway, all right. So that's where we are. So yeah, so that's the end of the video. So I guess we went 1 for 2, so not the best record. But again, that's how I've been performing with this deck recently. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. It's definitely falling down on my like what I think about it. I think hopefully the new set is going to give it some more. Yeah, it's going to give it some more tools. And yeah, but anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.